Being the chair, I will allow us to return to agenda item 3, which is anybody wish any questions or discussions on the minutes from Rugby World Cup. Councillor Henderson.
Yeah, sure. Firstly, my apologies for not raising it earlier. There was just something I needed to clarify in my own mind, so my apologies to the others for that. I just note on the June the 30th minute, I quote, Mr. Wall expressed concerns that the committee was fast running out of time, that costings of the event needed to be sorted by the middle of July. That's on 3/6 with regards to the Opataka event. And that's just been a consistent theme, so I'm just a bit concerned about the planning for it and how it's going. And also the funding, because I see in the following meeting in July, $30,632 was signed off for team hospitality, which included team hosting activities, team gifts, Opataka and Hatepi. So I guess my questions were twofold. One is, can we have the breakdowns of the costings, and how much money is Council specifically putting into the Opataka event? And the reason I ask that is twofold. One is that Tū Whare Tau, or representatives of or organisers of the event, have stated that the event is not a tourism event specifically, and also has been stated that it is specifically a Tū Whare Tau event. So I'm just trying to get my head around the logic of what we're funding, how much we're funding, etc., and how the planning's going.
Just hang on. Sorry.
I can answer that in terms of the Opataka if you want.
If you're happy, well, are you happy for Mr. Green to answer that?
Yep.
So I'll certainly jump in if I think he's missed out anything.
So in terms of Opataka, Council's contribution is $4,000. However, that's not a full cash contribution, as that covers basically building consents, etc. So it's a payment to ourselves rather than an external payment. So it's $4,000 in total.
Aren't we also lending them our toilets and their use?
Yeah, a lot of infrastructure, the big screen, toilets.
Putting any cash into that particular event?
No, it's a huge event down there, and it's probably one of the biggest events for the Rugby World Cup in our district, and it has been self-funded to a huge amount. They've done a lot of work down there. The kapa haka and everything. We had an eye-opening to that on Monday the 18th, I think it was, where we got invited down there for a rehearsal, and really unbelievable the amount of work and that they've put into that, all the people. So I hope that's answered your question. That 30,000 was kind of always in the budget for the 3 hosting teams, as in Cheryl's certainly got a little smaller bit of that budget for gifts and for the teams, which are part of hosting them. So that was always, I think there was the indecision on, actually we didn't hear too much of what was happening down at Opataka, even though there was a lot happening down there. So yeah, that was why it was brought up into the minutes meetings, because we weren't quite sure. Time was running around, as some of the other events, Hatepi, the new event that's happening coinciding with the Global Games, but hopefully with this workshop that on the 25th, Rob, I'll certainly relieve any concerns that you have.
So it's fair to say planning's on track, and the expenditure's no more than $4,000 for building consents and some infrastructural support.
In kind, mate.
Yeah, in kind, yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. I think it'd actually be it is a Tū Whare Tau event, I guess, and it is by invitation because it is going to be a very big event. It's the rebirth and the celebration of the composing of the haka, and the reason why it's by invite is because it's a very small contained piece of land that only takes X amount of people. I forget what the number is, but it's going to be big screen televised in Turangi, in the big park down there. It's going to be big screen televised up here in Taupo.
Dylan's not here, and as you say, to tourism, I think that will create an event in Turangi, because their decision was down there, the hapu, to bring the big screen into Turangi rather than having it at the event. That was first muted when the event was first started, that the big screen would be there just in case all the people couldn't see what was happening at the actual event up on top of the hill. So that's coming to Turangi. So it is going to create an event place in Turangi for people to watch and appreciate.
Well, one would hope so, and from what I'm hearing, that's great. I was just going on the comments that have been made by various people involved in this organisation. It's good to know.
Okay, 2 people have asked to speak, and you're second, Mr. Williams, Councillor Kirk.
I'm not on the Rugby World Cup committee, but I do attend very regularly the meetings. Apart from what Councillor Downard and Mr Green have mentioned, with the traffic management, Tū Wharetoa have gained sponsorship through Downer. They're catering for 800 people, which is being fully sponsored down there, and a huge amount of work. Like, I actually left the meeting last Thursday really excited about what's happening in the district. I think Taupo has been given the official welcoming capacity of the South African team for New Zealand, and so it is a huge event. There is also a clean feed being run from Māori television, which means any other television channel can pick it up and broadcast it live or capture the footage to broadcast nationally, internationally. So huge.
I'll be very surprised if John Key's not there. Finished? Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was actually, Councillor Kirk just touched on what I was going to say. The reason it's a Tū Wharetoa event, and it has to be a Tū Wharetoa event, is that it's a pōwhiri. It's actually the official pōwhiri for the South Africans into New Zealand, which Rugby World Cup have asked Tū Wharetoa to undertake for us. So that's why it's a Tū Wharetoa organised event.
Which is a repeat of when they first came to New Zealand after the apartheid tours in 1981, was it? Tū Wharetoa, officially welcomed them back to New Zealand at the Waihi Marae back at that time. Anything further on that? Because I'm quite happy for any more questions on Rugby World Cup. We've got time, and so if there's anything further, nothing further, we'll move back from